Hey George, for what? Alright guys, so don't freak out. I'm just gonna record because I have to submit a lesson to my evaluator.
Do we help you out or no?
No.
Okay.
So go ahead and start your quick write number 39, okay? Get your journal out.
No, go right here.
Luis, you can sit over there in front of George.
Here, honey.
Start on quick write 39, guys. Come on.
Esta es la de la obra. Oh, es todo serio.
For YouTube.
No, what's your YouTube? I'll subscribe to you.
No, guys. No. It's for a lesson, guys.
YouTube channel.
Joseph, your journal? Alright guys, so we're gonna do your quick write. After that, we're gonna do the editing paragraph. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention. Quick write, editing paragraph, and then after that, we're gonna begin the expository essay, okay? So you do have an expository essay. You're gonna use Cinderella and the necklace as examples for your essay. We're also gonna watch the necklace. So there's a short film on it. It's 15 minutes. We're gonna watch that real quick.
Does it show like after they meet each other?
What do you mean?
Like when they. Does it show that?
Well, the original.
No,
Oh, it's not after.
It just shows exactly what happened in the story. That's what it's going to show.
Babe, you have a pencil?
I'll give them to you in just a second.
Everything off.
Actually,
Whoever's missing, just put them on this. I don't have them.
yeah, it is that football.
8 minutes.
You
You guys have 6 minutes left for the quick write.
You get yours
Remember mine either? I don't have mine. Come on. You see, they didn't want to give me my. What a rude. No,
Isn't your name George?
I'm offended.
Who's that one?
You put what's name?
George.
What is it?
Are you?
Where's the G?
Oh, Suez right there.
But you should have made it like that thing. Don't forget.
Don't forget. You're so rude.
You're so rude. I know. Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to pass back your necklace, the one that you worked on. This one, just keep it in your folder, okay? Make sure you don't lose it.
Big girl.
Just put it in your folder.
Need a white paper real quick, ASAP.
What do you need? Wait, go sit down.
I really need that.
Once again, guys, make sure you leave the drawing in your folder. You guys have about 2 more minutes to finish up the quick write.
Luis, did you finish your vocab for the next one?
Man, what's that? The vocab for the next one?
I think it was after.
It's in the Google Classroom.
And what day?
It's 26, 27?
Yeah, yeah. They're not done yet. These are 50 things, these are 2 minutes in the video. Make me know. Put circles. Today's Thursday, right?
Yes.
Tomorrow's Friday. Woo.
Guys, does anybody else have money for the plate?
Man, can I bring it tomorrow?
Yes.
Hey man, aren't you gonna give out the forms today or the slips or permission slips? To like,
The,
I'll do them out tomorrow. 'cause
the
we have
permission
to-
slips are until tomorrow. Alright guys, so get your editing paragraph out so we can work on that one.
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Okay guys, so for today it's going to be 6 capitalizations, 2 apostrophes, 3 commas, 4 periods, and 5 spellings. Again, 6 capitalizations, 2 apostrophes, 3 commas, 4 periods, and 5 spellings. That's 18 in total, so find at least 9 to get the check mark.
what year are you?
I'm going to be walking around checking your paper. The capitalizations for the top. So for the top, you're taking out 2 and inserting the other 4.
How many do we have to find?
9. Find at least 9 for the cups. You're taking out 2, putting 4. The commas, you're inserting all 3 of them. Let's see.
I want that. No.
The periods, you're inserting all 4 of them as well. The apostrophe, you're taking out 1, adding 1.
Usually it's 10. So Liz, what are you doing here? For which text?
Anyone else, guys? Sophia, how many do you have so far?
Like 1, 2, 4.
What about you, Reese? How many do you have so far? This one is correct. I haven't found mine yet. You found 11? Yes. Good job. What about you, Martin? You found it there? You guys have about 5 more minutes to work on the quick write. On the editing paragraph.
Is it current total? Current.
Yeah, so look at it right here, and then look at it right here.
I never thought of that one.
Okay guys, so for the commas, remember it's for introduction, to separate a list, or if not for extra information. So then for the periods, it's when we're going to start a new sentence. So then for this, there is, let's see. There is 3 commas that need to be periods for the editing paragraph.
2 commas that need to be
3
period.
commas that need to be periods. And the apostrophes, guys, it's for contractions or for ownership. Anyone else?
No.
Okay, guys, so let's begin with the paragraph. Luis, can you get the light, please? Remember to raise your hand. If you know the answer, go ahead and raise your hand. Don't just shout it out. So a vivarium can also have a damp forest environment. So for that one, Ana Paola.
To be not capitalized.
Which one?
Damn forest.
Damp and forest don't need to be capitalized, so we eliminate the capitalization in that one. So then we have a comma right there. So Sophia, for that one, do we need the comma or do we have to change the punctuation?
Change it.
We need to change it for what?
Period.
So we eliminate the comma, add a period. If we added a period, what do we have to do to salamanders? The S. Fernando?
Capitalize it.
We need to capitalize the S in salamanders. Salamanders and many kinds of frogs can thrive there. The best plants for this type of vivarium are moss, ivy, and small house plants. Mia, for that one?
We need a comma and moss and ivy.
After moss
Oh, yeah.
and ivy. And what's the purpose of putting the commas there?
Because it's listing.
We're listing items, so we need to put the commas. Alright, so Regina, what else do we need in that sentence? Houseplants doesn't need an apostrophe. So we eliminate the apostrophe for that one. begin with an aquarium. George, for that one,
Aquarium.
what about aquarium?
Misspelled.
So in aquarium, we have to take off the C. Aquarium. Line the bottom with about 2 inches of gravel. This will provide drainage. Timothy, for this one, give me one correction. Drainage. What about drainage?
E is supposed to be
Yes, drainage. So one of the E's is supposed to be an A, not the last one, the one before the last one. Alright, and then for the punctuation, line the bottom with about 2 inches of gravel. Do we need the comma there or do we have to switch it, Luis Cardenas? For that one, do we need a comma or do we switch the punctuation? We're right here. Line the bottom with about 2 inches of gravel. This will provide drainage. So for this one, we do have to change the punctuation. Instead of a comma, we need a period. And then we need to capitalize. Okay, so then add 3 to 4 inches of sterilized topsoil, which you can purchase from a plant nursery. Josue, give me one correction for that one. Purchase is what? Misspelled. So we changed the U into an A and we add the E at the end. Alright, so then this one, we also need a comma for extra information. Where would it go, Kayla? What was that? Before which? Yes. So it would go after topsoil before which, because which you can purchase from a plant nursery. That's extra information, so we put that there. Then add a thin layer of peat moss. So for that one, Martin, we have a misspelling. Which one would it be? Then add a thin layer of peat moss.
Okay.
It would be, which one? Layer, yes. Layer is misspelled. Again, this one, we need to keep an eye on the punctuation. So then, a peat moss. So for that one, do we need a comma or do we need a period? What do you guys think?
Period.
So yes, this instead of a comma needs to be a period. Eliminate the comma, add a period, and we capitalize T. Yes. This will help keep moisture in the vivarium. Use a desk lamp for light and heat. Don't forget to provide water. So for that one, Kiomara, a correction? The apostrophe? Yes. So we need that because it's a contraction. It's do not. Right, and then again for the punctuation for that one, Annalie, we're still in that sentence. Use a desk lamp for light and heat. Don't forget to provide water. So for the punctuation, the comma, does it need to be there?
No.
No, so we need to switch the comma for what, Annalie?
Period.
Period, yes. So we need to capitalize D. Alright, and last sentence, guys. After observing the organisms every day for a few months, you will learn how they behave in a natural setting. So for that one, let's have Pablo. Pablo, what's wrong with this one? Give me a correction. It's a misspelling. So look at the very last part. You will learn how they behave in a natural setting. Timothy, help him out. Behave. Behave is misspelled. For behave, we only need one E at the beginning. Alright, do you guys have any questions?
No.
Alright. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna see the short video clip of the necklace. And then after that, we'll begin our notes for the expository essay, okay?
Excuse.
Make sure you're paying attention to the little short film.
Or a plate.
got 22 minutes. Take it further below.
I saw that look line.
Alright guys, give it 1 second, it's loading.
1 second. You should have said 2 minutes. But that's 2 minutes already passed. We just played like computer.
Ma'am, has it done this in your other period?
No, barely right now. The
Which
other
is not
period,
like it or what?
it just plays immediately, but I'm not sure if the internet slowed down or something.
It's probably in.
They did in third period.
Really?
Yeah, it was really slow in 3rd period.
Oh, okay. That might be it, or it just might be the internet. But let's just give it a sec just to see.
Jack, 1 second already passed. I can you refresh the page.
Alright guys, so get your notebooks out. We'll see if we have time to see it at the end of the period. Okay? So let's begin our notes with the expository. Let's see.
You can use my iPhone hotspot.
Let's see.
What's the magic? What's the magic? FDIC brilliant.
Alright, there you go guys.
One of those pretty and charming girls, born as if by an accident of fate into a family of clerks. With no dowry, no prospects, no way of becoming appreciated by a rich or distinguished man, she finally allowed herself to marry a petty clerk in the Ministry of Education. But she suffered ceaselessly, feeling she was born for luxury. The sight of the little Breton peasant girl who did her housework awoke in her sad regrets and wild daydreams. She dreamed of servants sleeping on deep couches, of quiet rooms hung with old silks, graceful furniture, and priceless bric-a-brac.
First I saw you, I felt as though I was transported to a promontory with the waves crashing miles below my feet.
She dreamed of a small, stylish, scented sitting room, just right for the 4 o'clock chat with intimate friends.
But the room at sea grew similar to song.
With distinguished and sought-after men, whose attention all women envied and desired.
You come in there and all on.
Good stew, huh? There's nothing better.
When dining at her plain table, she would dream of elegant dinners, of shining silver and exquisite food served on precious china. Of secret smiles and whispered compliments. But in reality, she had no evening clothes, no jewels, nothing.
Truth, please excuse interruption. At this time, could you please release JV football players? Again, at this time, please release JV football players. Thank you.
I'm glad you could come.
She had a rich friend, a former schoolmate, whom she called on occasionally.
I've missed you. You're looking very well. Is that a new dress? I haven't seen it before. Yes, it is new. I just received it. It's the first to arrive of a group of things that I've had to sign. Very excited.
After a time, she could no longer stand to visit her friend. She would weep for days afterwards from despair, regret, disappointment.
Cornwall for the spring, and I'm packing up the children, and we're making this journey.
Mathilde, I have something for you.
The Minister of Education and Madame Georges Ramponneau begged Monsieur and Madame Loisel to do them the honor of attending an evening reception in Bonn on Monday, the 18th of January. What does this have to do with me?
Well, I thought you'd be happy. You really get a chance to go anywhere. This will be a wonderful affair. Here, I went to a great deal of trouble to get that invitation. Not many clerks got one. All the best people will be there.
What do you think I have to wear?
The dress that you wear when we go to the theater. I think it's very pretty. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Only I don't have an evening gown.
Oh, surely it's not that important.
It's impossible for me to go. Give your invitation to someone at the office whose wife is better dressed than I.
Well, how much would a new gown cost? One that's not too fancy, that could be used for other things.
I don't know. Maybe 400 francs.
400 francs. I was hoping to get a gun for hunting.
It would last forever.
All right. I'll give you the 400 francs.
There.
I'd buy something pretty. What's wrong now? You have your beautiful new gown and you still seem unhappy.
I don't have a single jewel to wear with my gown. I look like a pauper. I'd rather not go.
You can wear flowers. The flowers are very fashionable this season. For 10 francs you can get 2 or 3 lovely roses.
There's nothing more humiliating than to look poor among rich women. I won't go.
Stupid we are. Go to your friend Madame Forestier. She has plenty of jewels. Ask her to lend you one. You know her well enough for that.
It's true. I hadn't thought of that.
Here we are, Mathilde. Just pick something out, my dear.
Have you nothing else?
Oh, yes, just keep looking. You see, I don't know what you want.
Could you lend me this?
Just that one.
Oh, yes, just this. Oh, nothing else. Oh, please.
Of course.
great evening arrived. She was a sensation, the prettiest woman there. She danced with enthusiasm, intoxicated with pleasure, thinking of nothing in the glory of her success. They left around 4 in the morning.
Excuse me. Have you received a letter from Marseille?
The shabbiness of her wrap clashed with the elegance of her gown. She longed to escape before being noticed by other women, so many of whom had furs.
You get a chance to answer it.
No, not yet. If there's any way that we can help you, let us know. Yes, of course, but we have to go. Matilda's very tired. Good night, good night, good night.
It was over.
What's wrong?
I don't have Madame Forestier's necklace.
What do you mean?
It's gone.
Necklace? It's not possible. Did you have it when we left?
Yes, I felt it when we walked out.
Well, if you dropped it in the street when you heard it fall, it must be in the cab.
Did you get the number?
The number?
The cab.
No. Did you?
No.
Well, I'll go back over our route and see if I can find it. I went to the police, the cab office, nothing. Then I went to the newspapers and put in an advertisement offering a reward. You must write to your friend Madame Forestier. Tell her you have broken the clasp on the necklace and are having it repaired. I will give us a little time.
At the end of a week, they'd given up all hope of finding the necklace.
It must be replaced.
It's impossible.
It must be replaced.
How?
There's the name of the jeweler inside the box. We can start with him.
I sold the box, but I did not sell the necklace. Unfortunately, I have no idea who did.
They traveled all over the city, going from jeweler to jeweler, looking for a necklace similar to the other. Finally, in a shop in the Palais Royal, they found a diamond necklace they thought looked exactly like the one they had lost.
How much?
40,000 francs.
No.
Monsieur, because of these circumstances, 37,500.
$35,000.
36. I fear that's the best I can do.
We hold it for 3 days.
Certainly.
And if by the end of February the necklace is returned, you will take this one back and refund 34,000 francs.
I agree to that also.
To raise the money, he borrowed 100 francs here, 60 there. He pawned his possessions. He signed notes and made ruinous deals. He did business with loan sharks until he had the entire 36,000 francs. He compromised the rest of his life. Then, terrified by the future, by the black despair he felt closing in on him, he went back to claim the new necklace.
You should have returned it to me earlier. I might have needed it.
If Madame Forestier opened the box, would she notice the substitution? Would she consider Mathilde a thief?
Thank you, Mathilde.
They changed their lodgings. They sent away their maid. She now lived the life of the poor. The frightful debt had to be paid, and she would help pay it.
How much for these? 50 for these carrots.
Clothed like a peasant woman, she haggled with the grocer, the fruit dealer, the butcher, over every last sou of her money.
40.
And in return, she was insulted by them.
Thank you.
He worked nights, balancing tradesmen's accounts, and did copying work at a miserable 5 sous a page. This on top of his regular job. And this went on for 10 long years. Until his last creditor was paid. Everything, the exorbitant rates of the loan sharks, the accumulated compound interest, every debt was now paid back. Sometimes, when she was alone, Mathilde would sit and dream of that long ago evening when she'd been so beautiful and so admired. not lost the necklace. Who can guess? How strange and unpredictable life is. How full of change. And how small a thing can bring success or ruin. One Sunday, when Mathilde had gone for a walk in the park, she noticed a woman. It was Madame Forestier, still pretty, still charming.
Hello, Jeanne.
Madam, I don't know you. I'm sure there must be some mistake.
No, I'm Mathilde. Mathilde Doisel.
Oh, my poor Mathilde. How you have changed.
Well, I've had some difficult times since we last met. Miserable times. And all because of you.
Because of me? How is that possible?
Do you remember that diamond necklace you loaned me?
Oh, yes, very well.
Well, I lost it.
Lost it? No. You returned it.
I returned a necklace just like it. And it's taken us 10 years to pay for it. You can imagine it wasn't easy for those of us who have nothing. But it's over now. And I'm content.
You say that you purchased a diamond necklace to replace mine.
Yes. You never noticed it then. They were just alike.
Oh, my poor Mathilde. Mine were paste. Why, that necklace wasn't worth 500 francs.
Alright guys, so what did you think? Exactly like the story, right?
Exactly like the story.
Exactly like the story. Alright, so get your notebook out for notes. We're gonna begin some notes for the expository essay.
All the way.
Alright. You guys get your notes out? Your notebook out? No, we're gonna leave them after the notes. Alright, so as I mentioned previously, we're gonna be using Cinderella and the necklace as examples for the expository essay. So everything that I'm writing down, go ahead and write it down on your notebook, okay? So we're gonna use Cinderella and the necklace. Alright guys, so for Cinderella, what particular object did they focus on for the movie? Mia, what did you say? The shoe. They focused on the glass slipper, right?
And in the necklace.
Alright, and Fernando just said it, but in the necklace, they focused on the diamond necklace. Diamond necklace. So, those were the objects of focus. So we're gonna go ahead and compare and contrast both of these scenarios, alright? So for the glass slipper, did it impact Cinderella in a positive or negative manner? What do you think, Jorge? What do you think? Did the glass slipper impact Cinderella in a positive or negative way?
Positive.
In a positive way, right? So we're gonna put positive
And
because
then the
it
other one was
impacted her in a
negative.
positive way.
The animal was negative.
Alright, so right now we're focusing just on Cinderella. Right now we'll go over to the necklace. So then in parentheses, let's start thinking of specific examples. So raise your hand if you have an example of how it positively impacted her. Fernando.
The Mr. Kicks fell in love with her.
So love, for love purposes, right? So because of the slipper being left behind, she was able to find love. Did you have another example, Regina?
No.
Alright, so because of the slipper, what else happened? We have various examples, guys.
They were able to find her?
They were able to find her, and more specifically, what, Timothy? What happened at the end of the movie?
Oh.
They found
Married?
her.
Marriage. So marriage. So it also led her to a marriage. Alright, so far we have love, marriage, Regina.
It led her to get away from her stepsister and her stepmother.
Yes, so it enabled her to get away from her stepmother and her stepsisters who obviously treated her badly, right? So for that one, we're gonna go ahead and write,
Mystery. Not mystery. I said mystery.
Family evil.
so we're gonna write family issues because it allowed her to kind of like get away from her family issues.
Probably
So
spent a lot of time.
it allowed her to obviously like put some distance between her stepmother, her stepsisters, so her family issues were eliminated, right? Alright, anything else, guys? Anything else you guys can think of for Cinderella? Okay, so that wraps it up for Cinderella. So then, for the diamond necklace, so then, for this one, Luis Cardenas, did it impact Madame Lucille in a positive or negative way?
Negative way because she lost it.
Negative.
10 years of her life.
It was up to be like 500.
So then again, in parentheses, let's think of specific examples for this one. Yes, Fernando?
We spent 10 years paying everything. And
Yeah.
So they were in debt. Yes, more specifically, they were in debt. What else, Ana Paola? For the necklace, how did it impact Madame Lucille?
They lost their apartment.
That would fall into the debt category. So just herself, like her physical being. How did it impact her physical being?
Old appearance.
She aged, right? So obviously because of the stress, she looked older. So she aged. All right. So then, anything else that you guys can think of? So just, yes, Timothy.
Misery?
Misery, yeah. So just based on what she lived, on how she felt, she was obviously miserable. So it also impacted her attitude, her mood. So for that one, we have debt, she aged, and she was miserable. All right? Yes, Fernando?
is there like something? There's one character who said similar.
What was that?
There's one character that takes advantage of one character. Like in the where her stepmother took advantage of her, and in the necklace, then Alice took advantage of her husband.
Oh, okay, yes. So that would be for conflict, but we're not going to focus on conflict.
Then I think
Okay.
it's for both.
So we're gonna focus on comparing and contrast, alright? So then, did everyone get this down? Everyone wrote it down on their notebooks? Alright. So then for your expository essay, let me give you guys the outline. So, write this down as well, okay? So first, you're going to start with your intro. And then we're gonna do body paragraph 1. Then we're gonna do body paragraph 2. And finally, your conclusion. So for this one, guys, we're only doing 2 body paragraphs because of EOC purposes. So when you guys take your EOC, you guys are only going to be allowed 126 lines. That's if you're writing it down. If you write it down on a sheet of paper, it's only limited to 126 lines. If you're typing, it's only going to be 1,750 characters, not including spaces. So obviously you have like a limited amount of paper or characters to work with. So that's why we're only going to do 2 body paragraphs. So then for our intro, what do we need in order to make an intro? Anyone? So Regina, what do we need? What's the first thing we need for an intro? And you guys can use your notes for this expository essay. Does anyone remember?
Essay?
So, yes, you're going to need a hook. After your hook, Anali, what do we need? After the hook, what do we need for the introduction? Timothy, help her out.
Background info.
Background info.
Yeah, okay.
Mia, finally for this one, what's the last thing that we need for our intro? Mia. Your what statement? What was that? I'm sorry? You need the thesis statement. So guys, make sure that you really focus on your thesis statement because your thesis statement lets the readers know what the entire essay is going to be about. So it's the last sentence of your intro and it's going to let the reader know what the whole essay is going to be about. Alright. So then body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. So body paragraph 1 would be Cinderella. Body paragraph 2 would be the necklace. And go ahead and copy this down, guys. Alright, everyone copied it down?
No, yeah.
Does anyone need more time?
Just a moment.
Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and get to reading. So, alright. So Timothy, can you please read that quote for us? Can you see it? I can zoom it in. So let me zoom it in. Go ahead and read that quote for us, please.
All of it? Only if you care for a thing enough, it takes on a life of its own, doesn't it? And isn't the whole point of things, beautiful things, that they connect you to some larger beauty? Those first images that crack your heart wide open and spend the rest of your life chasing or trying to recapture in one way or another. Donna Tartt.
Alright, so that's a quote by Donna Tartt from The Goldfinch. Alright. So then alright, so let's have somebody else read this for us. Sophia, can you read that one for us, please?
Which one?
All of that, just up to here if you want. So all of this.
And I know.
That one and
Yeah.
can you make it? There. Oftentimes objects that we encounter in our daily lives take on a greater meaning than originally intended. Think carefully about the statement. Write an essay explaining how an item can change a person's life.
Alright guys, so that's going to be your prompt. So write this down on your notebook, just that. You don't have to write this down, just write down that one. So we're going to be writing an essay explaining how an item can change a person's life. So obviously in our two examples, in Cinderella, what was the one item that changed her life, Jorge?
The slipper.
The slipper, yes. What about the necklace, Ana Paula? What was the item that changed her life? The necklace, yes. So we're going to be using those two examples to write an essay about how an item can change a person's life. Everyone wrote that down?
Teacher, you gonna take final exam?
What was that, Fernando?
Asking, because you're taking a final exam.
If you're taking an exam,
Final.
a final exam?
Mhm.
No. Alright, so you already have how you're gonna structure your essays. So again, it's going to be your introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then your conclusion. So that's going to be a total of 4 paragraphs, okay? So we're gonna work on the thesis statement together. That way you guys just have to work on the hook and on the background information. And that way you're gonna have your introduction ready. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started on the thesis. So, remember the thesis is what the entire essay is going to be about. So let's go ahead and start it with an item can change a person's life. So write this down, guys. And make sure you label it. So label it thesis, that way you know this is your thesis statement. An item can change a person's life. And then we're going to put the word by because we're explaining how it's going to impact someone. An item can change a person's life by. So then that's when we go ahead and use the positive and negative, but we do get a little more specific. Just a little more specific, but not too specific, where we're jumping into details about the stories already. So then we can continue this. An item can change a person's life by. So what happened in Cinderella? So in Cinderella, how did it change her life, Timothy? Timothy, how did it change her life?
The black slipper?
The black.
By, so we can put something like by allowing someone to find love, or allowing someone to live happily ever after, because that's what happened at the end of the story, right? By allowing someone, and remember, we're putting someone because it has to be in third person. We can't be putting the words I, we, you, because that would be already going into first or second person.
So we can't put I neither.
No. By allowing someone to live happily ever after. Or, so then that's when we use the necklace as an example. And again, we're going to provide a little bit more detail, but not too specific to the point where we're already saying exactly what happened in the story. So by allowing someone to live happily ever after, or, so for this one, Regina, how did it affect Madame Lousel? By, or by, more specifically, like how did it change her life? More depressing, right? So then for this one, we can put something like, or by. So for this one, we can use like maybe misery as an example, or 5. Or by making
Someone's life miserable?
someone's life miserable. So notice how we use words like someone, person's life, someone's life. That way we stayed in third person point of view. We didn't use your life, we didn't use my life. So that way we stayed in third person point of view, which is how it's going to be. Your entire essay has to be third person point of view. Any questions so far, guys?
No.
Alright, so y'all have about 15 minutes left. You guys can start focusing on the hook. So remember, the hook is your attention grabber. So that's where you're going to use to get the reader's attention. So for that one, remember to stay away from questions. Don't use a question. Focus more on trying to find a quote. And remember, for the quote, you don't have to like even search it. You can just make up something for the quote. Like someone once said, and then you put quotations, you put the quote. Someone once said, and then a quote that is relevant to our prompt. So you can use quotes, you can use literary elements like similes, metaphors, personification, or you can even use statistics. Statistics is like percentages, or like 9 out of 10 people. So you can use that for your hook. And then your background information, you're just explaining the hook. Alright, so you have the rest of the period. Don't get stuck on that. If you are having trouble with the hook or with the background information, don't get stuck on that. Just go on to your body paragraphs, okay? Any questions?
No.
Alright.
Can I pass up the whiteies when we are finished? With the
Yes.
5 minutes?
Yes, we still have some minutes left, so go ahead and get started on your expository essay. You're gonna have your answer today, tomorrow, and then it's due tomorrow. Tomorrow by the end of the period.
So we're going to have one day.
Oh, you have passed?
Yeah, all the time.
Alright, fine, go.
Time is easy.
Yes, Ana Paula. When we come back.
What?
No, just go. Everyone wrote down the thesis? That way I can take it off.
I did.
Alright.
Can I put like one of my close friends or my close family members? Can I put that on?
You're already using the word my in that statement. So that would already be shifting into 7%.
Questions.
Unless it's a rhetorical question, which is a question that's not meant to be answered. But those are kind of difficult to come up with. So I would suggest that you use like a quote, or even maybe like a simile, a metaphor, something like that. And if you're stuck on that, like just don't think about it too much, just go on to your body paragraph. You guys can use your notes, you guys can use your story.
But before we do that,
Says that you turned in your story, but it goes in your folder.
it's a folder in my backpack. Let me see. I got it.
Are you able to print it out again?
I'm sorry, did you
Can I put copy of it?
print out?
Yeah, like, you know, the computer, like somewhere.
I mean, So, if you notice here, you're already shifting into one. So the way that you can make this work is if you eliminate this and you put quotation. Because remember, whenever something is inside the quotation, like it doesn't count. So then here you would still, even though you're shifting to second person, it's inside the quotation, so you'll be fine. So that's how you can do it.
But you need to write it down first.
And then right here.
And write it down first, and then you can type it in. You want to see the draft? The draft, like.
Okay. I will need you could take us where again.
Remember that if you're going to use a quote, it's okay if your quote is in first or second person. So as long as it's inside a quotation, then it's okay if it's in first or second person. Because the rest of your essay, whatever is in quotations, it has to be third person.
Yeah. Friday no class is out there. Friday no class is going to material. Very short. What I got is you don't have place to go. A free period. And Friday. Look at me all silly.
Guys, go ahead and start passing your folders to the front. Make sure you put your story in there.
Can I pick that?
Yes, Fernando, you can pick them up.
Your papers are full.
Alright.
guys aren't going to be able to finish today since we had a very limited amount of time, but tomorrow you're going to have the rest of the period to work on it. So as always, we're going to do the quick write, and then since tomorrow's Friday, we don't have the editing paragraph, so then the rest of the period you have it to work on the expository essay. So make sure you bring your notes.
That all of voters
Yeah, I think that's it.
we just need to release the backwards. Well, your head
Guys, did anybody grab any of the chargers that we had in the little cart for the Chromebooks? Did anybody by accident take them home or something? No? Because we have a few chargers missing. We have about 4 chargers missing. We have about 4.
Damn. No, I just have mine.
Alright.
I know my ass.
So just make sure you check for that just in case that you took one by accident. Because we do have to return those.
I just had mine, but I left it at home, and I have an extra one. If I did, then I mean, I took one, but I don't have an extra one. And you were taking a video.